Hello and welcome, everyone. We've just opened up the waiting room. We're letting everyone in. So I'm going to give just a few moments to let us do that. All right. Well, fortunately for me today, I've got Abby and Teresa in the background behind the scenes helping out today. And so they'll keep an eye on that waiting room and we can go ahead and get started. We've got a lot to cover and only a short amount of time to do so. So as I jump into this, just want to briefly talk about Atticus. If you don't know who we are, maybe this showed up in your promotion feed, or you saw an advertisement for it, or was referred by someone that you know, work with. But Atticus offers a variety of support mechanisms for your practice. We work with attorneys and law firms. We only work with attorneys and law firms. And we've been doing it for about 30 years. So if you want to learn more about who we are, what we do, certainly check us out online. Of course, follow us on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, or you can dial up our website at atticusadvantage.com. My name is Lori Pulvermacher. I'm happy to be with you all today. I've spent almost 20 years working with attorneys. I'm thrilled to be a part of the Atticus team and have the opportunity to work with attorneys in a variety of different ways. I've also in my career had the opportunity to work with a lot of different business owners and high-level C-suite professionals in different businesses as well. And one of the things that I've learned that I'm passionate about is helping brilliant practitioners become really great and savvy business professionals. I started my career in marketing, and through my consulting work, my training work, marketing has always been a part of that mix. So marketing is going to be an essential function to your business, any business, truly. And in the world of digital marketing and social media, there's no shortage of what channel you could be on today. And new ones are popping up on the scene all the time. But today we're going to focus on LinkedIn, and I'm excited to talk with you about that. Real quick, as we get started, again, we've only got 30 short minutes together today. That doesn't permit a whole lot of time for us to get into the nitty-gritty details of leveraging LinkedIn for your law practice. So inevitably, you might have some questions. And if you do, I encourage you to chat those into the window or raise your virtual hand. And Abby and Teresa, again, are behind the scenes. They're going to keep an eye on those and ensure that we can address as many questions as possible. But again, that said, we might not get to all your questions today. So my commitment to you is to address questions that we have time for today, but also to follow up. So if you have a question, if you're curious about something, if you've tried something, or there's something that kind of resonates with you today that you want more information on, go ahead and put that in the chat box and we'll follow up with an email to you so that you get that information. We don't want you to leave more confused than you came, and we certainly want you to be able to, again, leverage LinkedIn for your law practice. All right, so why LinkedIn? Most professionals have a LinkedIn profile, and most professionals that have a LinkedIn profile scroll LinkedIn just as they do any other social media platform. Depending on how they're using it for their business or for their exposure, for their networking, they might spend more time on it than other platforms. So just a little bit of information for you here. About 40% of users access LinkedIn every single day, 7 days a week. Now, that said, the amount of time that users spend on LinkedIn is less than other channels. So grabbing attention and being consistent with it is going to be important. But it does have a much more significant opportunity to convert business and to grow your network over channels like Facebook and Twitter. Certainly in the world of business social media, LinkedIn is king and queen here, and it's been around longer than Facebook as well. So it's more, years ago, people just looked at LinkedIn as this digital resume platform, right? For us to kind of have a resume review of these connections that we have. But it's really evolved, especially since 2016, when Microsoft obtained the organization. And it's used as a way to brand yourself, to elevate the recognition that you have online. You can certainly earn new business, attract prospects, and demonstrate thought leadership with this platform. And the other thing too is, just like with all these social media platforms, it's really accessible. You can have it right on your phone, and be in and out of it very quickly and utilizing it for. If you're trying to figure out how to market your firm and your practice, and you're looking to do so on somewhat of a limited marketing budget, LinkedIn is a great tool for that. It allows you to reach out to other professionals. It allows you to connect with individuals. It allows you to message them and really kind of establish, again, a business relationship. And it allows you to build credibility with those individuals as well. Most individuals that are on LinkedIn, they're there to create relationships and foster existing ones. So they're naturally open to meeting other people. They're naturally open to getting to know you and refer work. And those online relationships really aren't that different than in-person ones, especially in today's kind of current environment. And that online community provides you with access to more individuals, and it has a trickle effect in the number of individuals that you could potentially meet that you otherwise couldn't have if you weren't using a platform like LinkedIn. So again, a lot of channels that you can use. What I want to encourage you is, pick the one that's kind of the best platform for you. But again, today we're talking exclusively about LinkedIn. But know that the efforts that you put towards your LinkedIn profile or business page can be leveraged along other channels and really have that repurposing and again, trickle effect with that. So today's objectives, again, we've only got a few short minutes to spend together. We could easily spend 3 hours on all of this content. But today I want to talk about the difference between a LinkedIn profile and a LinkedIn business page. I want to demonstrate some ways that you can connect with your audience and aid yourself in being found and aid in that credibility, that integrity, and again, that thought leadership. I want to talk a little bit about promoting your services, and then also some of the other ways that you can use LinkedIn to find job candidates and to build your team and support your team as well. So the first distinction that many people ask about is that profile versus business page. And so I often, ask the question, are you a solo a practitioner? Are you the public face of your brand? If you are your business, then maybe a LinkedIn profile is the right avenue for you. But if you want to take your business separate from yourself and you want it to have its own brand, then the latter, having a business page, is probably a better approach. Now, you would have both, and you could evolve or transition over time also. Some small businesses that are solo kind of shops start with the profile and then graduate into having a business page and using other tools and services that LinkedIn provides as their business evolves. So oftentimes, again, you start with that profile and then transition to that page. The other thing too is, as your business grows and you increase the number of team members that you have, you can support your brand through their personal pages, their personal profiles as well. And so now you've got multiple team members that can be funneling people to your business page. Excuse me. So the difference between these connections versus followers, followers are associated with a business page, and followers simply allow others to read what you've posted. Meaning, if somebody says they want to follow your business page, they're going to see your posts in their newsfeed. That could include any short posts, any long form posts, really anything that you're publishing. And you can follow others, and you can follow organizations and groups without them being connected to you. The connection on LinkedIn is more similar to that Facebook experience. So for those of you that might be familiar with that platform, it involves that the other person actually has to accept your invitation. And so LinkedIn defines a connection as this two-way I want to be connected to you, you want to be connected to me, and we both want to see what the other person is posting. So there's kind of an element of relationship or trust between those two connections. The following component of it is you could follow somebody else, and even though they're going to get a notification that you're following them, they might forget about you after a period of time. They're not automatically going to see your stuff. You're going to see their stuff. And so it just depends on what kind of relationship you're seeking there. The other opportunity with LinkedIn is advertising, and advertising is only going to be available with the business page option. This is not available on individual profiles. So if you're looking to incorporate LinkedIn advertising or up your digital advertising strategy, you'll need to have a business page to do that. Excuse me. The other thing too to keep in mind is that LinkedIn profiles often rank higher than websites. This is a powerhouse network. It's a really strong platform. It has some really significant infrastructure that is designed to return search results. So a page is going to aid you in having additional exposure. And if you have a business page, you almost want to treat it like it's this micro website and make sure you're linking it to and from your website as well. So again, oftentimes we see people's business pages on LinkedIn outrank their website pages from an SEO perspective. And then making connections. Please, please, please don't spam, folks. Any of us that have a LinkedIn profile for any length of time at this point and have accepted new invitations from others have probably already experienced this, but we get that connection request, and as soon as we accept it, we get an inbox message that says, hey, you want to check out our free trial? You want to schedule a sales call? You want to do this? You want to do that? And it's like, geez, Louise, right? It's not genuine. It's not personalized. And it's spam, quite frankly. And none of us, excuse me, none of us have the time for it or the desire for it typically. So many people do it. It's just really bad taste, and it just creates a really bad experience right out of the gate with your new connection. So don't do that. Your LinkedIn account can also be temporarily restricted if you do these things. If you're sending invitations and people report you, LinkedIn will say, you're not doing good work here and nobody wants to see what you're sending, and they will restrict your account, and then you're gonna have a hassle trying to reestablish yourself. So again, this is a platform that's all about relationship building and professionalism and integrity. So keep that in mind when you're going about those connections and how you're building your brand. Personalize your invitations. Now, yeah, you can just hit the connect button. Some settings are going to ask, how do you know this person? And if you say, I don't know this person, but I want to connect with them anyways, then LinkedIn's going to say, well, then you need to send them a message first and ask them for that connection, and they're going to have to reciprocate or accept that. The quality of the connection, is important too for that kind of reputation support and that brand integrity. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But think about, again, ways to make it personal. Hey, Barb, we met at an event, or hey, Barb, I see that we've got mutual connections, would love to connect with you. Put a little personal message in there that goes a really long way to giving that person a reason to connect with you. And then if you do send them an inbox message, have it be of gratitude. Thank you for connecting. I'm really intrigued about your business. I'm really intrigued about this. I'd love to learn more. Make it about that person, not about you. Excuse me, my voice is wearing on me today. So there's a lot of ways that you can connect with people and start growing your LinkedIn community, if you would. Obviously, LinkedIn is going to bring people up based on the information that you populate in your profile. They might recommend people that same law school as you. They might recommend people who worked at previous organizations that are the same as yours. So you can look at it that way. You can search for people. You can import your contacts from your email database or other social media databases. And it'll say, all right, you're connected with these people here. You can also connect with them here. So it can kind of help you jumpstart getting those connections in place. You can also join groups or do other things to kind of meet people through those other channels and then be in connection with them. Naturally, you're going to get some connections because LinkedIn's going to say, hey, this individual has a new profile, maybe you know them. Again, if there's mutual or relatable information such as where you went to school, where you worked, location, organizations you're involved in, things like that. So, you know, the building of your network is kind of that ramp up mode. It takes some time, it takes some effort, it takes some different tactics. So many times, especially years ago when I was working with attorneys, they launch the page and then it exists and that's about it. Having a page that exists that you don't do anything with is much like having a website that you don't do anything with or that has very minimal information or looks extremely outdated. It creates a red flag feeling for someone and they don't have the desire to kind of take that next step and connect. So the thing that I'm demonstrating here on this slide is the QR code. I really love this option that they have. So when I go to a networking event, it's just so easy. I can pull this up or I can take a screenshot of it so it shows up in my photos. I can easily access it. So I can have kind of a shortcut to this image. And I ask the individual, you got LinkedIn? Yep, all right. Scan it and we're automatically connected through this QR code. The nice thing it does is it makes it easy for me. If you're anything like me, sometimes you go to these different events, you meet a lot of different people. What was that individual's name? What was their last name? Maybe I remember their first name, but now I'm trying to search by company or I'm trying to come through some other backdoor channel to try to remember this person that I had a connection with face to face. Or I do remember the name, but Janet Thompson, there's a lot of them out there. And so I put in that person's name and multiple results come up. And now I've got to try to, hone it down. So this QR code it's like that quick direct access. One, the connection happens automatically, but it ensures that I have the right person. And when I go back into my connections, then what's going to happen is they're going to show up at the top, that recent connection. And now I can click on them, I can look at their profile, learn more about them in addition to the conversation that I might have had with them at the chamber event. And then I can send them a private message. Great to connect, so wonderful to meet you. I really appreciate you spending time talking with me about X, Y, and Z. Again, now that follow-up message is more sincere, it's more personalized, and you've got a reason to be in their inbox. And all of that to say LinkedIn kind of helped you be organized, have timely follow-up and good memory because you didn't have to specifically remember their name, title, location, things of that nature. But again, be sure to link your LinkedIn page to your website to support that search engine optimization as well. And then you can include those little connection icons on the web page footer or in your Connect with Us web page that you might have. Here at Atticus, we link our business pages from the website, but then if you go and check out our individual bio pages, we also have our LinkedIn personal page linked there as well. So the more links you can throw into your website, backlinking can help support you there. As you build your connections and you establish your page, you can then invite others to follow your page. So if I've gone through, I've got my profile first, and now I'm creating my business page, I can go start inviting my connections to follow that page. Again, I can make that personal, but if I do invitation, I've only got 5 connections, that's not a big boost to my page following. So try to build up your connections first, and then invite those individuals to follow your business page. Give them a reason to do that too. Don't launch the page and have nothing but a banner image and some real basic information. Think about, what do you want that experience to be when they visit that page? Some of us might get the invitation and go, yep, I know that person, I know that firm, I'll just automatically follow them. Others might go and go, who is this? Now I want to go and I want to check it out. So make sure you've got some posts on there, you've got some content posted, things that are going to demonstrate the value that you can bring to them and why what you are saying and doing is relevant to them. Believe it or not, people are interested and intrigued by attorneys. Sometimes attorneys don't give themselves enough credit to think that, oh, people don't really care what I do, people don't, really care for my profession, whatever it might be, but people are genuinely interested and intrigued by attorneys and by the law. If we consider the number of law-oriented TV shows and movies that have been created over the years, that should be testament of that enough. But you are interesting, and what you do is interesting. So take advantage of that and promote your experience and promote your solutions and talk about the various different scenarios that your clients find themselves in. One of the biggest hurdles that I've experienced with business owners and professionals who are trying to use social media channels is the roadblock of what to post, right? I know I need to post something, I know I need to be active. What does that mean? Let alone what's it going to look like, sound like, feel like? So make sure that you're posting and sharing content. Make sure that you're using videos and images to kind of stand out. We current kind of society and social expectations these days are that there's a visual element to what we're talking about, right? And two, video is that preferred method of obtaining information and viewing information. And think about it. You can say a lot in 30 to 60 seconds in these short little videos in a much more efficient time than you can sitting down and drafting a post or a white paper or something like that. So I don't want to discredit the written content because I think that that's important, especially in the legal services space. But how can you supplement written content? How can you be more consistent and more frequent by creating short videos? And the videos oftentimes are the stumbling block for individuals. What do I want to talk about? What do people want to hear about? Think about the value that you bring to your audience, your referral network, as well as your clients. Talk about ways that you've helped your clients and consider your frequently asked questions. What are the questions that my clients have time and time and time again? That should be a chunk of content for you to work with right off of the bat. And so make your content around those kinds of things. Build videos and content that supports, what do I wish my clients knew before they ever picked up the phone, before they ever sat down with me? All of those things should be some easy go-to things that without a lot of scripting or a lot of thought, you could quickly crank out. And again, people want things that are relatable and they want to see you as the individual. That's why videos are so popular in that preferred method. I want to hear and see the person in which I'm going to entrust to help me with these matters, right? I feel a level of connection with them before I ever, pick up the phone. And so let them see you, let them hear from you, let them read your expertise. And then you can also reshare content, Harvard Business Review, Forbes, law journals, things of that nature. They've already gone through the work of putting that content out there. All you have to do is share and maybe give a little preface to why you think it's valuable or what you want your audience to know about why you're sharing that content, and boom, you've got a new post. So it doesn't always have to be organic. There's a lot of content out there that you can be leveraging to educate your audience. And again, think of your referral network as well as your client base. And then hashtags. Hashtags are used across all social media platforms to help categorize content, so that when we go into these different channels, we can actually search. So we can search videos, we can search posts by a hashtag. And so incorporating hashtags allows you to tell your audience what it's about, but also it helps you reach larger audience, people who are interested in those hashtags or in that particular topic or content. So think about what hashtags you can incorporate. I'm sure you've probably seen posts where people, have a running list of hashtags and others that just use a few. Research is different depending on the resource as far as how many is the appropriate number of hashtags. But the most recent information I looked at was that 3 to 5 as far as number of hashtags. But again, every channel is a little bit different. But again, think about the hashtags that you can be putting in that help people find your content and get beyond just your connections. You want your connections to hear from you, but you want to grow your audience. And if you're popping up in people's news feeds because what you're posting is relevant to what they're interested in, that's a new follower, that's a new connection for you. And then advertising. Advertising is only available with the option of the business page. So you can't do this on your personal profile, but advertising is great because it allows you to target people and put LinkedIn to work for you. So there's a number of things here that I'm listing, but watching the clock and we're going to run out of time here. So I want to make sure that I'm moving through this as quickly but effectively as we can. Keep in mind, this is a long-run initiative that's going to require consistency. One of the biggest frustrations that anyone has with marketing, digital marketing, social media, any business development strategy is that it takes time. And so this is where I was indicating earlier, there's a lot of platforms out there, and you can gain greater reach by utilizing multiple platforms. But for every platform you have, that's one more that you've got to keep up and manage and do something with and engage your audience. So make sure that you're being consistent and somewhat frequent with this, and engage what other people do too. Comment on their stuff, like their stuff, reshare their stuff. You can build your community that way. Bring value to your audience, post insights, again, reshare articles. But again, consistency is really going to be the key here. The recommendations is the last one here on this page. So I do want to highlight on this real quickly. It's a nice way to grow your personal profile page and get folks to talk specifically about their experience in working with you. But it's also a give and take opportunity for you to say, hey, I've worked with this individual. This is one of my best referral sources. I want to give a recommendation to them. And so I can go onto their LinkedIn profile and hit recommendations and leave my own testimony that helps support the strength and integrity of their page as well. So it's a give and receive opportunity there. All right. And then the other opportunity with LinkedIn, one of many, is the team aspect of this. We're in a really interesting, frustrating, and turbulent kind of employment environment right now. So LinkedIn can help you find candidates. It can help you create job postings. It can help you get introduced to others through these search mechanisms that you might not otherwise come across. It can let others know we're hiring, and you can even leverage it further by subscribing to the LinkedIn Recruiter platform, which allows you to be even more access even more of the ways that LinkedIn can help you search for candidates as well as job postings. So this comes with a little added fee to LinkedIn, but it's really slick the way in which you can search for candidates on this. So if you're kind of coming up against a roadblock and frustration, LinkedIn might be a viable platform for you to consider for acquiring talent for your bench. And then the talent that you have, you want to cultivate, you want to support, you want to incentivize. LinkedIn also offers a learning kind of online university. They offer continuing education credits. They have on-demand courses. They have audio files. They have videos. They've got tons of content and certainly a number of influencers. So you can share these opportunities with your team members. You can encourage them to take online courses to aid in their professional development. So this is a really great tool. What we've talked about today is a tip of the iceberg situation, right? I highlighted kind of 4 main aspects. There's a lot of them out there. And again, Microsoft did acquire LinkedIn back in 2016. And the difference is a lot of the other platforms, most of the other platforms, quite frankly, rely on advertising to have the revenue that they do. LinkedIn provides services that are something that people are willing to pay for. So it's beyond the advertising. Of course, they have that aspect, but they also have, again, I alluded to LinkedIn Recruiter. They have a LinkedIn Career, a LinkedIn Business, and a LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So these are different, these are extensions of the basic free platform that you can, again, tap into depending on how aggressive you're trying to promote yourself, how much you're trying to grow your team, or what kind of channels you're using to grow your team, and be able to, again, utilize the powerhouse platform that they have. I know we've got some questions in. Teresa, Abby, anything that we can highlight real quick? If you can take a look at that right while I kind of quickly talk about some of our upcoming programs. I alluded to the fact that we do a number of different things with attorneys and law firms. These are just some of the things we have coming up on the calendar. We do in-depth webinars that are longer than this one, that allow us to get into more meat on topics. Our next one is coming up on September 27th. And for those of you that participated with us today, we'd like to encourage you to join us. Referrals are one of the most successful methods of gaining new high-value clients. So we want to kind of talk to you about leveraging that and using that more effectively in your practice and in your business. So this is normally a $99 webinar that's 90 minutes long. It's taking place on September 27th. There's a code here on this slide. If you go to our website and enter this code, you'll get 50% off of that. Really, the goal of this workshop is to create a referral portfolio, a referral system, and establish yourself as a go-to in your area. And not only get referrals, but get A-level referrals and clients out of that. So we're at the top of the hour. Are there any quick questions that I can address? Again, anything that you put in the chat that we can't get to in the next couple of minutes, we will respond to by email. I'll make that commitment.
Lori, we did have a question. Is there any harm in posting about personal stuff? Do the potential clients, contacts really want to know about what we do in their spare time?
I think that's a great question. It's interesting that I've been seeing a number of posts from the individuals and groups that I follow and I'm connected with. And sometimes they open it up with going, I know this isn't business related. I know that maybe this LinkedIn isn't the personal share platform. So they might even open the post up with that. I think there's always an opportunity. So if you go to my LinkedIn page as an example, one of my recent posts I posted about back to school. And it just got me thinking, like, and in my position, I'm always trying to think about what spin can I take on content, right? And maybe it's personal, but how can I loop it back into what I do with my clients, with the work that I do, right? So a lot of people do like to have the distinction of, Facebook and maybe some of these other channels are more of where you share your cat videos and your pictures of your children and grandchildren. And LinkedIn should be more about this, the business, the education, and the thought leadership. I think there's an opportunity to blend those worlds. And I've certainly seen individuals share very personal things, but the people that I've seen do it the best, again, tie it into, a growth opportunity, a learning lesson, something that's really kind of thought-provoking. So they might be showing a little bit of vulnerability in doing so, but what it does is make their audience kind of appreciate that about them and see them in a different light. Again, marketing is oftentimes a faceless machine for our businesses. Social media and videos and photos give us an opportunity to put a human component into our marketing efforts, and people want to know who you are. They want to see you, they want to hear from you. So again, I think that there's an opportunity to blend it. I wouldn't go and just make it again about cat videos and all about just, what my kids did this weekend kind of thing. But if you can find that tie-in, I think it's really powerful and it resonates with people.
Thanks, Lori. Another question we had is, what is the best length for a video?
The best link for a video?
The best length. Should it be minutes or 30 seconds or longer?
Yeah. Yes. So LinkedIn allows you to post long length formats, and so it's nice in that respect. I would question, how else do I want to use this video? So as an example, I do a number of videos for my LinkedIn posts, and our marketing team here at Atticus reuses those, but they put them on Instagram. The challenge is Reels on Instagrams likes the short length format, and my videos tend to be more long-winded, and so they have to chop them up. So if I know that I want to create a video that works across multiple platforms, I want to consider what's that least length opportunity for the platforms. So if I'm doing something like TikTok, or I'm doing Instagram or other things like that, I want to consider that repurposed, right? So, but I also need to consider, we as humans, we don't have a lot of patience, and we're used to that scroll kind of mentality. And so you want to grab attention quickly. And typically they say videos in that 20 to 60 second chunk are kind of best. Someone can quickly listen, obtain something, determine if there's relevance there for them, and move on.
And then another question along those lines, does it matter what type of device is used for making the videos?
So that's the other kind of hurdle that a lot of people impose on themselves. Oh, it's got to look professional. It's got to look slick. Again, TikTok is showing us that you don't have to put a whole lot of time and effort and energy into this. Now, of course, the image and how you want your audience to perceive you should certainly be done that way. But the background that you're seeing right now is the same background that you're going to see in my LinkedIn videos. I put up a tripod on my desk here. I put my phone into it. I hit record and I upload. And so it doesn't have to be lighting and production and editing. It certainly can be, but all that's going to do, in my opinion, is hinder you from jumping in and doing this, and doing it with frequency and consistency. And again, frequency and consistency are the most important things. I'm following attorneys who literally are walking to the office in the morning with their phone up in front of them and sharing a message as they're walking down the street. You see the traffic behind them, they're passing other people on the sidewalk. It's relatable, and people see you as somebody who's approachable and somebody they'd enjoy working with. So don't overthink it. It should be what's comfortable for you. I'm not comfortable yet to just pull up my phone and start recording myself, in the kitchen while I'm cooking dinner. But I am comfortable enough to say, hey, I don't need to overthink this. I can quickly talk, capture it, and upload it. So find your comfort, but just jump in and do it. And it's one of those things that the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. You can't gain comfort with it by just thinking about it and coming up with a lot of great ideas. You have to start executing on it.
That's all we had in the chat.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you all so much for being here. If you do have questions after the fact, again, don't hesitate to email us, connect with us on LinkedIn. We'd love to see you there and share our content with you and follow you in return as well. Have a great day, everyone.